I guess I was just going to ask, one, hope you have safe travels to Louisiana.
Amen to that.
I know that obviously it's a place that you're very familiar with, and the last couple of years of your career, you spent time coaching about an hour away, and you coached a guy named Jayden Daniels. So I just wanted to know, obviously, with all the success that he's having right now, what it was like watching him develop and what it's like to obviously see him have all the success at this NFL level. Did you think it was possible when you coached him?
Well, I mean, first of all, it was pretty easy to identify from the beginning what type of work ethic he had, what type of pride he took in learning the game, digging into the details of the game, and even his time with us at LSU, the improvement that he made over the course of, the 2 years that he was there was evidence that he was willing to put the work in necessary, both physically and mentally, to put himself in a position for success. And it doesn't come as any shock to me or surprise to me whatsoever what he's been able to accomplish so far in the NFL.
Go ahead.
Coach, you've spoken about your game week process before. I guess, does the extra few days add anything to that?
Yeah, I mean, it adds a lot of ideas that some are really good and some maybe we farm out and some we move around. And so it gives us a chance as a staff, I think, as much as anything to continue to dig into details and bounce things off one another, maybe find a problem here and there that in a quick week's preparation you might not get a chance to see. Things that we know we have to have adjustments for and answers for. Gives you a chance to dig into those details a little bit more.
And then can you take away anything from facing Georgia a couple years ago in the playoffs, even though the rosters are obviously different?
Yeah, I mean, I think the rosters obviously are different, but, same leadership, same dominant style of defensive play that Georgia's been known for years now, since Kirby's been there. And, they're a group that makes you work for every single inch that you gain, and they have answers for your answers, and we're going to hopefully have one more when we get a chance to get against them.
Coach, have you had the opportunity, or has it been requested of you by Al Golden to help him understand what they're doing from the offensive side? So maybe since you faced him before and because you understand what they're capable of.
Yeah, I mean, Al and I are always bouncing ideas off one another. Talking about what hurts us, and he talks about what stings them or what other people are doing. So we get a chance to exchange information all the time and kind of communicate with each other. It's a great relationship that way. I don't know how much help he would ever need from me. I think he's doing an unbelievable job on his own, but anything that I can do to help, we're kicking that stuff around all the time, him and I.
And we know the things that changed for them on offense with the quarterback situation, but defensively they're still pretty stout. I mean, what is the issue they present, and how do you plan to, without giving us the game plan, attack this mentally and physically?
There's nothing but issues with what they do defensively, from a personnel standpoint to a scheme standpoint to trying to take away what you do really well. They're as good as anybody that we faced this season at doing that, limiting explosive plays and like I said, making you earn everything that you get. And on top of that, they're incredibly talented physically and have some really good football players. So extremely well coached, disciplined, hard-nosed, make you earn it, and we're going to have to be up for the task.
We've asked you about Riley a lot throughout the season, obviously, but if you could put in perspective maybe where he was week one to where he is now for us.
Yeah, just incredibly proud of his continued progression and his understanding more and more, I think, every day of where his answers are and how to get to them and how to make the adjustments necessary to make sure we're not running bad plays into bad looks. And as the season's gone along, that's continually grown, got better and better and better, and I don't see any end of that, coming this way. I mean, it's progressed even into getting ready for this game, and I think a lot of the experience that he's gained along the way throughout the season and the different things that he's been able to see and how his development has come along, he's in a better position to help this offensive unit as kind of an on-field coach and quarterback as the game's going along. So that's exciting.
How have you seen sort of Jadarian step up with kind of going in and out a little bit with that injury, and then just really what he's done during bowl prep that's kind of wowed you a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's incredibly a huge luxury, obviously, to have Jadarian, there when you need him, and even, even if he was, the only one there, you would be very happy with the type of talent and explosiveness and ability to make very, timely big runs and the things that he's been able to do for our offense. I couldn't even, put a price tag on how valuable he's been to what we do. And he's continued that. I mean, every time the ball's in his hands, something really good seems to happen, and he's done that all year, and bowl practice so far hasn't been any different than that.
And then same kind of thing with Aeneas. I guess he's had to take a larger role here recently too. How have you seen sort of him as a freshman really step up? Yeah,
I mean, he's really mature for his age and really does a great job of kind of understanding our protection schemes and stuff. We've used him in some third down situations and also rotated him in here and there on first and second down. But he's a valuable guy to have because he's a little bit of a Swiss Army knife where he can get in there and pick up a linebacker and have that type of toughness. And also, if you put the ball in his hands on a check down or whatever, he's going to get you a first down. So it's been really, really positive.
We got to go back to Zoom, okay? And we'll finish up on one here. Brandon, go ahead with your question.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Brandon, how are you?
Doing great. Great time of year.
Yes, sir.
I was wondering, with you've worked for Coach Kelly, obviously before Notre Dame and LSU, and obviously worked alongside Coach Freeman. I was wondering, what are the differences you've noticed between the two as they run programs, and also just how both have evolved over the last decade or so of being around those two different spots?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got their own style of leadership, and obviously both have been incredibly, incredibly successful in the roles that they're in. Comparisons between the two. I mean, I don't know that I would even begin to even describe that, other than, if you're someone who has the magnetism about you that people like to be around, number one, and number two, they want to follow, and they believe in your leadership and believe in your message, and they believe that you're in a position to make them better, not only as people but as football players. And I think both of them have that strong trait, and it translates into the success that they've had on the field.
Let's do two more quick ones here.
Coach, when it comes to Jordan Faison, it seems like he always kind of steps up in his biggest moments. Have you noticed anything unique about him in his practice now leading up to another big game?
I mean, the biggest thing for Jordan, I think, as the season's gone along, is just he's been able to stay healthy here probably for the last 4 or 5 weeks in a row. And it's allowed him to dig into the practice reps and be in a position where he could perform when he's called on to do it. And he's done an incredible job with that. He is an explosive playmaker that needs to touch the football for sure.
Where's CJ in his progress and his development?
Yeah, I mean, mentally coming along very well. He's been, as you saw him today, he's throwing in practice and doing those things. So we're excited about where that's headed. He's back in full detail and got some team reps and some everything else today. So it's good to see him back going at it.
Are you guys still limiting him, or is he on a pitch count still a little bit, it look like?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, anything like that you're going to keep an eye on. But he was in team time and doing his business today. He made a couple really nice throws in team time today, so it's exciting to watch.
Georgia guy playing Georgia.
Yeah, as I said, it's exciting. Grow up. All my friends, basically Georgia fans, my closest friends. So it's pretty cool being a Georgia guy. I got a lot of friends over there on that other team. Grew up playing ball with, so it's pretty cool to go out there and just compete and just have this opportunity. Compete at the highest level in the playoff, play against a good team.
And then I know you played with Gunner. I guess what's kind of his personality like, and what makes him, ready for this moment too?
I would say he's a baller. He's a kid that gave it all he got. He's in the position he is just because of he hard work, whatnot. Great kid, great person off the field. So yeah, I'd be excited to see him.
What was the IU game like for you? Obviously, you had some great moments early in your career. You had to play a different role lately. To get a touchdown in a big game like that, what was that experience like for you?
It's one in a lifetime. That's why you come to a place like Notre Dame, just to be put in those positions like that. It's pretty cool to catch a touchdown. Just do whatever I got to do to get the team win. So just being out there when my name was called, make the play. It was something you just only dream of.
What allows you to be a guy that's willing to do whatever you're asked to do, as opposed to maybe being disappointed when you're not getting enough touches and stuff like that?
I would say I want to win. The bottom line, whatever I got to do to win. I'd never want to lose. I hate losing more than I like winning. Put it that way, because being on the side of losing, I never want to do again. So after that NIU game, there's a lot of pain. I would say inflicted in us, and so we play every day just to win. Whether it's win the day, win the moment, win the hour. So, after taking a loss like that, whatever I got to do to win, I'm going to do.
Jayden, have you seen this team take another step, kind of mentally and physically since the IU game? The time you preparing for this, like, it's not IU. It's Georgia and the SEC team. You guys prepare differently? I guess, what's the mindset in them?
Yeah,
to hurry up?
There's still, a college football team. We think we can compete with whoever. So, it's not like we got to do anything special. But it's also not like we can't, not prepare. So it's just a fine line in between that. We have a great challenge ahead of us. And I'll say we're ready to go. We're still practicing hard, just putting our head down and I guess grinding.
Let's do two more for Jayden. Okay, two more. Go ahead. Two more. Go ahead.
And when you look at this offense, facing against this great defense, you guys obviously want to run the ball and block the opposing side as a receiver. How have Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price, have you seen them kind of take an uptick as well as far as just taking this as more of a challenge?
Yeah, I would say, I wouldn't put it as a challenge. I feel like we got the best backfield in the country, the best 1-2 duo. So it's like, if we keep doing what we've been doing, we got a chance to, beat everybody. And I would say just not beating ourselves, sticking to, the run game, allowing the pass game, and just complimentary football. And, like I said, we got the best backfield in the country. And if we block up, what we got to do, when our 111, those guys are going to be in the end zone every time.
How have you kind of seen Riley Leonard progress now throughout this season and even now in the postseason?
I would just say it's confidence, it always, with him, it's his first year here. So just as a receiver room, being somebody who we can count on, throw the ball down the field. I think, as you've seen, our offense has, grown tremendously. So it's just every day, in the lab, grinding, just to, give each other the confidence that we're each going to make a play no matter what, whoever's out there. So that's how I would say he's grown and we've grown as a unit.
Aamil just saw you and Riley laughing as he's walking by. Is he just a personality that does stuff that makes people laugh and put a smile on their face at times?
Definitely. Riley has an infectious personality. Anyone around him, he's able to connect with him at a personal level. And when you go through a season with him, you just get so close. Just such a great guy. Plays for his players. Always does the best he can for the person next to him. And it's so unselfish. So when you get to build a relationship with Riley, you know how goofy he is. So it's always just fun to be around him.
They have some pretty exotic blitz looks. I guess, how do you guys kind of prepare for anything and everything?
I think it comes to film study and walkthroughs. After practice, we got 15, 20 minutes of just picking up all the third down pressures, getting a chance to feel it for ourselves. They're a very talented team with a great scheme, and so it's important for us to stay in the film room and just kind of rub it as much as possible. So when it's time we come to the game, we're prepared.
And then what's allowed you and Rocco to kind of develop a solid chemistry over the last couple months?
I think it's honestly being friends off the field. I think what's unique about our O-line room is we're all brothers. You come in there immediately, you have 20 brothers right by your side. And so as Rocco stepped into his role this season, we've been closer as FaceTime calls, talking about players or even playing the game. Me and Rocco's built a great relationship, and he's played excellent for me. I trust him with my life, and he does the same.
Is this the most maybe detail-oriented defense that you all probably faced this season?
I think all the defenses played so far have been very detail-oriented. This one, like many others, is extremely. I think it's important for us to just stay with our basics, know our fundamentals, trust and believe in the guy next to us, and we'll do our thing out there.
And you guys are going down to New Orleans, man, Bourbon Street, all the things that's going on around this game. How do you all stay focused and just not get distracted on what's going on around you on New Year's Eve?
It's about television. Our goal down there isn't to have fun, not to party. It's down there to play a football game. And so the opportunity to just focus on the game ahead, it's a amazing opportunity to be in the position we are. And so we're taking full advantage and just focus on when we get there.
Their linebacking core is one of the best in the country, and obviously you guys have one here too. But what sort of how does that add to sort of the challenge of them having so much strength up in the defensive line, but then also you got to worry about the linebackers too?
Yeah, amazing front seven, very talented players everywhere. But I think the opportunity to play at Notre Dame, we go against arguably the best linebacker core in the country. Whether it's Kingston, Jack, Drake, whatever it is, they're some of the best players. So even our scouting guys, they're hell of athletes. And so the opportunity just to rep it against guys that are very talented and knowing that if we're not at our best, we can't get beat, gives the opportunity to go into a game like this where they have an amazing front seven and perform as well.
And this is probably not the offensive line that what you all were planning to have at the beginning of the season, but now that you guys have been able to plug in guys here and there, with Charles Jaggersaw being back healthy, I guess how does this offensive line room look with a guy like that who's tended to be the left tackle starter at the beginning of the season?
So as an offensive line, we embrace the next man up mentality. No matter who it is, injury or ailment, whatever it is, the guys on the field can play for each other. Charles came in, obviously directed to the starting left tackle and went down, but with him being healthy, he can compete, he'll push us. If we need him, he'll be there. But right now, it's just about getting better throughout the process and just playing 5-as-1, and whoever gets a name called, he gets a name called.
Jadarian, how has the O-line kind of grown from week 1 to now in your eyes?
I mean, you got to give those guys some credit. We're an O-line, D-line driven program. They bust their tails every day in practice in the game. They're always getting cuts and bruises, and they're the reason we've had so much success in the running back room. So, we continue to challenge them, and I feel like, it's a long season, but they're continuing to get better as a group.
And then I'm sure you and Jeremiah would like a few more carries here and there, like everybody. But I mean, do you feel the freshness at this point in the year, just with the lack of carries?
Yeah, the way Coach does it, Coach McCullough, it really has helped our bodies, and I feel like the world can see that. And I do feel like the time we've had off, that we just played a game last week, but I do feel fresher than I was, midway through the season, to be honest.
Is that a hard thing early in the season to truly buy into, and then is there a certain point in the year you're like, this is working really well?
Well, we kind of did it, even last year. We have a main guy, but you also had, 4 other guys rotate in, so we're kind of used to it, and, it's really just trusting the process. I didn't have a problem with it. Jeremiah didn't have a problem with it. And even the young guys are stepping up, and they don't have a problem with it as well, because when your opportunity comes, at least you're 100% and you're fresh and you're going out there and giving your best shot. So,
what's just the overall excitement level right now? Obviously, you guys have had a longer time. It's been a longer game week, but just to be having this opportunity to play in the Sugar Bowl, playing a quarterfinal game.
Yeah, we're really excited. The whole locker room, the whole coaching staff. I mean, you come to Notre Dame to play teams like this and be on the big stage, millions of people watching. So we're very excited.
Jadarian, this is probably a silly question, but there's teams that you maybe not look at the same as you do to Georgia, but does a hit regardless of tackle, does it feel any different when you think you're probably going to get hit by a guy like an SEC opponent versus maybe it's from the MAC or ACC? Is it different for you?
Well, let me tell you about those military academy guys. They know how to hit as well. The Navy Army guys. So SEC, Navy, Army, any other team we face, it's football. At the end of the day, we're Notre Dame, and people are going to come after you, whether you're the quarterback, running back, whoever. So you just got to have that mentality to be physical every play.
And what's the relationship or conversations like with Jeremiah Love at this point in the season when you guys are kind of leaning on each other to say, hey, we know that we are run first team and whatever, you got to set the tone. What are the conversations like with you guys leading up to games?
Yeah, I tell them every day before practice, before every game, continue to show that you're the best in the country. He believes that, and I'm gonna continue to challenge him every day, and it just makes me feel even better about myself. Just going out there, coach says hold serve. When it's your turn, go out there and make something happen as well. So I like what we're doing out of the running back room, and we're continuing to get better every day.
Anything else? Thanks, JD.
Actually,
go ahead.
Just what makes Georgia's defense such a challenge, especially for you guys in the running back room?
They're aggressive. They have a lot of size. D-line, we've faced big D-linemen before, but they got some big backs, and we gotta get up there and get good position in the pass game, and in the run game you just gotta take those 3, 2, 4, 5. Next thing you know, 20, 30-yard runs. So we're up for the challenge.
Riley, what can you get out of a couple extra days of preparation that you guys have versus it being a regular game week?
Yeah, I think the combination of like extra preparation and no exams and no finals. Like when we were preparing for Indiana, it was crazy. Guys were straight from practice to the library or taking an exam. So this week's just been incredible to leave practice and know you got 8 hours, the rest of the day to just study film and get your body right.
And then being from Alabama, I guess, what's kind of like the chatter like back home?
I try to not listen to it, but I mean, everybody's hitting up. I think luckily, like most people know, like not to hit me up, so they'll like go through my parents. But I'm gonna need a lot of tickets. So I already hit up James, the Aussie. I was like, dude, there's no way you got 6 people from Australia coming to New Orleans. But so I think he should be able to give me some.
What were your impressions of Georgia kind of growing up?
Yeah, obviously being an Alabama kid, I was really a part-time Notre Dame fan. Obviously, I've talked about it a lot. But then you root for the in-state teams as well, so they're always playing Georgia, and I know a lot about them.
Riley, how do you talk about quieting the outside noise, but you're going to be in New Orleans playing on New Year's Day. How do you cancel out things like Bourbon Street? What's going on around the game to focus on?
Yeah. Luckily, like I said, New Orleans is pretty close to me, so I've been there plenty of times. Know what to expect, but I keep my life very simple. There's not really many distractions in my life. Kind of in my decision making off the field, and then with my family, girlfriend, everybody's got their head on straight. So it's pretty simple for me.
I just asked Jadarian this question, pretty silly question, but you probably have the answer to this as far as you take a lot of hits. But is there a difference in taking the hits from different teams and then the SEC Georgia team?
I guess the only SEC team that I've played is A&M, and I didn't really notice the difference. So, I mean, these dudes are freaks, right? But I mean, taking a lot of hits in my career. So, a hit's a hit. I probably won't feel it till the next day anyway.
What makes their defense so challenging?
They do a lot of stuff up front, so they'll run a lot of different fronts and mess with that, and then they'll bring a lot of different pressures. There's not really many pressures they won't bring, and then they're going to man you up and play press, all these different things in the back end. So yeah, it'll be fun.
And you talked after the IU game about appreciating this, coming from once being 3-9 early in your career, just the excitement level of being in a CFP quarterfinal game.
Yeah. I mean, this is obviously why I came to Notre Dame to compete here, and I remember leaving Duke, which I didn't want to do, but I was thinking to myself, like, I'm going to go out swinging, like, I want to compete for it all, and here we are. So kind of a dream come true for me. And then, like I said, going 3-9, I have perspective. I understand how cool this thing is, and I'm not making too big of a deal of it, but I'm also not taking for granted, like, this opportunity.
There's been a lot of change on the offensive line for you guys throughout the season. Now, Charles Jagasaw coming back. Just kind of how have you seen this unit develop throughout the year to get to the point where they're at right now and now bringing a talented player back? Yeah,
there's been a lot of new bodies in there filtering in and out, but like there hasn't been much change in how we're playing. We just steadily, been getting better every single week. It doesn't even matter who's in the game. Like Aamil Wagner, dog. He's been playing really well all year, and he's been able to stay healthy for us. So he's been a big part of this thing, and I think the rest of the guys just filter in and out, and we don't really skip a beat.
Riley, offensively, you guys, like I said, you haven't really skipped a beat. You guys have been productive, but right now, what's the conversation like to keep things light and to keep things just, hey, this is another football game? What are the conversations like with maybe the running back on the O-line, just to have casual?
Yeah, I think that's definitely been the message, just to treat it like any other game. I think with this team though, you don't really have to say that too much because we are a very mature group, right? You only get a certain type of kid to come to Notre Dame, and it's a kid that has his head on straight and makes good decisions and doesn't make situations bigger than they are. So I think it's kind of just understood. Everybody in the locker room understands this game and has been very mature throughout this process and preparation.
Let's do one more, okay?
Aeneas Williams, he's kind of like really stepped up in the backfield there, especially in pass catching situations. What have you seen from him, I guess, recently? Yeah, he's a really good athlete. Like in everything we do, he's a really good athlete. And he's got great communication back there for a young kid, which it's like why are you talking about his communication? Like for a quarterback, when you step back there and he knows exactly what he's doing and he's pointing out who he's got,
whether we have motion shifts, these types of things, he's always communicating to me, and like I really appreciate that, and I tell him all the time. So he's great to have back there as a quarterback.